Terrell County, Texas Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland and Texas Highway Patrol Staff Lieutenant Christopher Oliveras. Sheriff Thaddeus, this is insane.
You know, Carl, it's sad and comical. When I say that, it's sad that these unaccompanied children have to go through that. And it's comical that the greatest country in the world, the greatest country in the history of the world, can't keep up with them. And I take it personal because as a U.S. Border Patrol agent, you know, we were labeled that we put kids in cages by the prior administrations and the far left. And I tell you, these kids would be in better shape had they still been kept in Border Patrol custody. We never kept them in cages. Border Patrol agents aren't meant to keep people in long-term custody as it is. And because other parts of the government doesn't work, we end up having to care for them. And I can tell you they're not cared for better than anywhere else than U.S. Border Patrol hands.
LT?
Yeah, Carl, I mean, it's very disturbing, you know, just the fact that over 300,000 children that are unaccounted for right now. And we knew that was going to be a case. We talked about this for the last 2.5 years. When you have a complete failure because of an unsecured border, you're going to see these type of results involving children. I mean, if you go back, let's go back to the previous administration. There was so much criticism for that administration for separating families and placing children in cages. But now we fast forward. Now we're victimized, being smuggled and trafficked at the hands of criminal smugglers because of these disastrous policies by the current leadership. Since our start, Carl, of our border mission, since March of 2021, Operation Lone Star, in Texas alone, our state troopers have rescued over 900 children that have been in these vulnerable situations, that have been left abandoned at the river, or have been smuggled in cars, in the trunk of cars by smugglers. That's a reality of the situation. So we know for a fact that children are being exploited and victimized at the hands of criminal smugglers. It's a direct result of the inaction and disastrous policies by the current leadership right now.
These people don't give a darn about any of this stuff. But, you know, Thaddeus, last night Kamala Harris pledges to bring back the bipartisan security bill. Listen to this.
Donald Trump believes a border deal would hurt his campaign. So he ordered his allies in Congress to kill the deal. Well, I refuse to play politics with our security. And here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law.
You know, there was a bill called H.R. 2 that passed the House that Kamala Harris and her friends in the Democratic-held Senate didn't do anything about.
Carl, you're exactly right. H.R. 2 is what I preach to people all the time when they bring up President Trump shooting down that Senate bill. Couldn't be further from the truth. Before President Trump even commented on that Senate bill, and we started reading parts of it when it started being, you know, leaked through the media and whatnot, it dealt with immigration. It didn't deal with border security. And border security and immigration, two separate issues. H.R. 2, as you mentioned, specifically dealt with border security. That's the bill we need to secure our border. Look, we have pathways for people to come to the United States legally. They work perfectly fine. We need to get back to that border security stance. And I got to say, with Lieutenant Olivares on the line, you know, we're grateful for the work that Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Parks and Wildlife Game Wardens, and Texas military forces do every day here in Terrell County. Yeah. Thank you all.
All right. So real quick, LT, there was a bunch of $5 million actually worth of meth in watermelon bags. I mean, what do you make of this?
You know, Carl, this is a common tactic by the Mexican cartels. They're always going to find ways to bring across drugs or any type of illicit narcotics across the border. We've seen it over the years, but of course, more so now, this current leadership has given the cartels so much more power that they feel like they can operate with impunity. And that's why we're seeing so many drug seizures at ports of entry, even outside of ports of entry, including fentanyl. That tells you one thing: the cartels are not only more powerful, but now they're able to mass produce more drugs at a more historic level than ever before because of the fact that we have an unsecured border. And it's going to be an ongoing problem unless we have a change of leadership that's actually going to take the fight to the cartels and put a stop to drugs that are coming across our borders that are killing Americans at a historic rate.
Yeah, 5 million of meth is a ton of meth. Thank you, Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, Christopher Oliveras. Stay safe down there.
Thank you,
Carl.
All right, coming up.